here we go. Hi there, Carson Meredith with you from the Wave Now Studios. A pleasure to be with you on this Saturday evening. It is 7 p.m. on January 25th, 2025. Hope you're well. I hope you've had a good weekend so far. I hope you've enjoyed the sunshine and the mild weather. Finally, got some mild weather that actually has some staying power with it this time. That's really the big storyline as we go through the next 10 days. All in all, the forecast is fairly quiet for the time being, but there's a couple little bumps in the road that we'll have to keep an eye on, one of which is actually tomorrow, and another will be towards Wednesday night and Thursday. So we'll talk about those, and we'll look ahead to our next decent shot of rain and maybe a wintry mix, but it looks like rain just for the most part at this point. Who's watching tonight? Amber says hello. Appreciate you, Amber. Bring on the 40s and the 50s. Yes, sir. Hope you're all well out there, Michael. Kevin says hello from St. Matthews. Weather Geek says it felt like a heat wave today, didn't it? Man, oh man, it was awesome. I loved it. Anita says, thank you for the beautiful day. You're welcome. It's the least I could do. Trust me, if we could, we'd keep sunny and 70s around all year long. But Mother Nature has a mind of her own, as we all know. Michelle says, good evening. Ellen says, good evening. DJ King, how you doing up there in Jennings County, my friend? Hope all is well. Kathy says, hey to everybody. Carrie says, guess what? 6 p.m. sunsets. Yes, they are very, very close. In fact, here in Louisville, we will officially at Ali International Airport have 6 o'clock sunsets starting Monday. Another sign that spring is near. All right, let's get into it. Let me get you outside of downtown Louisville. Beautiful sunset about an hour ago. Did you guys see it? Staying on the sunset theme. It was gorgeous. Some of those clouds, those thin, wispy clouds that have been around all day, it just makes for those vibrant colors in the sky. And you get that sun angle in the perfect spot. Just a beautiful sunset a little while ago. But the sun has gone down and we are settling into a pretty quiet night. 45 is our current temperature here in Louisville. It's been a little breezy today. We had some gust closer to 25 miles per hour, but that wind out of the south and west was the reason why we hit 51 in Louisville earlier today. But that wind will be shifting later on tonight. Let's explain why. Radar's quiet. You're going to see a lot of quiet radar for the most part for the next 7 days. Yeah, really quiet stretch of weather ahead. But let's zoom things out just a little bit. And you can see our first bump in the road in our forecast. It's that cold front that stretches across a good chunk of the heartland tonight from Dallas up towards, let's see, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Joplin, Missouri, St. Louis, Chicago. That cold front will be moving into wave country tonight, quickly moving off to the east. But you see, there's basically no moisture with this cold front. There's a couple of flurries in northern Missouri right there, but those will not be an issue for us at all. This is a dry cold front, but as it moves in, you're going to notice two things tonight and tomorrow. Number one, more cloud cover. We'll have those clouds really filter in after midnight tonight as the front gets closer. And those clouds will want to stick around for much of the day on Sunday. So not as bright of a day in store tomorrow. The second thing you'll notice with this front as it moves in, especially throughout the day tomorrow, is the cooler temperatures. We're talking highs only in the upper 30s to low 40s on Sunday. Still above freezing, so we'll still have some melting going on. I know we had a lot of melting today. There's still a little residual snow and ice still on the ground, but we'll see some melting tomorrow, not as much, because we'll be about 10 degrees colder tomorrow compared to where we were today. And another thing, too, I guess there's three things that you'll notice. The clouds, the colder temperatures, and the wind direction. Instead of it being out of the south and west tomorrow, we'll have that wind out of the north and west, which, of course, is part of the reason why we're stuck in the upper 30s and low 40s. But all in all, it could be worse. It could be much, much worse. So we'll keep this quiet cold front quiet as we want it to be after the crazy January we've had. You notice the temperatures across the country, that bitter cold air is certainly still out there. Winter is not done just yet. But Northeast United States, New England, bitterly cold. It is 9 degrees in Maine tonight. It is also 9 in International Falls, Minnesota. A nice warm 16 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota. 15 in Helena, Montana. And it is nice and balmy in Denver. Mile High City is at 18 tonight. Please sense the sarcasm. It is cold in those parts of the country. You go down to Miami, that still looks like the nice spot. 66 down there, 68 in Phoenix. So this colder air is going to move in tonight. It's not going to be the extreme stuff that you see out in the central part of the country, okay? We're not expecting single digits, nothing like that at all. Instead, we'll be talking about the upper 20s for most of us tonight. Here in Louisville with the heat island, of course, is always going to be a couple degrees warmer for the most part. So we'll call it 31 here in town tonight. But if you live outside the city, you'll likely stay in the upper 20s. Clouds roll in. That'll kind of give us a little blanket to keep us a little warmer tonight compared to the last few nights. But still a little of a chilly start as you're heading out to church or brunch or whatever plans you might have Sunday morning. Notice that sunset time, 5:58 earlier tonight. We'll get close to that 6 o'clock hour right on the dot on Monday. For your Sunday, clouds hold tough. The breeze will be out of the north and west. It says southwest, but I forgot to change that, honestly. It'll be out of the north and west for the most part. And that's going to keep us cooler. 42 is our forecast high here in Louisville. If we're able to get a little more mixture of sun and clouds, and we have a few peaks of sunshine, we might be a couple degrees warmer. I'm not sold on that, though. A lot of times these clouds really like to hold on longer than the models say they will. So for that reason, we'll keep it a mostly cloudy forecast tomorrow with those highs on either side of 40 degrees. So that's where things stand for tomorrow. Back to the comments. Gene says, hello. My app says it was today, Carrie. Well, that depends on, if you're a little further east of Louisville, your sunset might be closer to 6 o'clock already. If you're a little further west, it might be a little bit later, I suppose. So it doesn't take much of a difference east to west to decide that specific sunset time. We just go by what the Weather Service climate data gives us for Louisville in particular. Bottom line, the days are getting longer, and I'm happy about that. And I bet a lot of you are too. Angela says, hello, such a nice day. Nice to get the salt off the vehicle. Turn my rolling salt block back into my vehicle. No kidding. I would imagine all the car washes were busy today. No doubt about that. NJ says, hello from Little York, Indiana. Thanks for the beautiful day. Of course, we're just the messengers, but we'll take the credit for it, I guess. Sunsets a couple minutes later, north of Marengo. Yeah, so the sunset's a little later further west, a little earlier further east. So, but in general, we'll be close to that 6 o'clock mark the next few nights. Tracy says, happy Saturday. Same to you. Kathy says she loves these warmer temps. Now let the snow be gone. Yes, please. We're getting there. I really think a lot of the snow is gone, like completely gone by the middle of this upcoming week. Now, some of those gigantic snow mounds in the parking lots, they're not going anywhere for a while because those snow mounds are insanely tall. It takes a while, but a lot of the stuff on the grass and the driveways will be moving out soon. Good evening, Shonda. This anything good? Yeah, we're just talking about this cold front moving through tonight into tomorrow. I guess you could say it's a good thing that it's quiet for an extended stretch of time. That's always good. Danny says, I can't figure out for the life of me why the snow and ice in my backyard just refuses to go away. Yeah, it's stubborn, isn't it? Especially, go back to, 3 weeks ago now, that big winter storm we had. Remember, you had snow, then ice, then snow, and it all compacted. The more compacted that snow and ice is, the harder it is for that sun to get into the compacted layers, if you will, to like pierce through it, if you will. So that's really a big reason why some of this stuff just won't let go. Also, if your backyard has a lot of shade, that could work against you when it comes to getting all this snow melted away. Let's talk about tomorrow in a little more detail for Sunday. We've got the cold front moving through. That's not going to give us any precipitation. All it's going to give us, as you see on Futurecast, is more cloud cover. But there is a system that'll be to our south on Sunday. If you're watching us earlier this week, we were talking how some of that moisture might move into wave country. That no longer appears to be the case, except for our counties along or closer to the Tennessee border. You blink and you miss it. Let me go back on Futurecast. This is around late tomorrow evening. Let's say 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And there might be, with that southern system, just enough moisture to maybe squeeze out a couple of flurries in our far, far southern communities tomorrow night. I'm talking Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties. That's it. Maybe Hart County too. So if you live down near Mumfordville, let's say you live near Greensburg, Campbellsville, Columbia, we've added back a very, very tiny flurry chance tomorrow night. I'm talking 10%, probably less than that, more like 5% for our far, far southern counties at the bottom of the map. See those little blue and whites? If there's enough moisture that is able to get this far north into southern Kentucky, we can't rule out a couple of flurries in our far southern counties. That's tomorrow evening. If you are in Litchfield, E-Town, Lebanon, Bardstown, points north, including here in Louisville, this is not an issue at all. And if you're down in southern Kentucky and you see flurries, it's not going to be an issue at all. We're just saying that there's the very, very, very small chance for a couple of flurries in our far southern communities as we get towards tomorrow evening. 8, 9, 10 o'clock, there will be no accumulations, no impacts at all. Just something we'll watch for our friends down in Hart, Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties. No big deal whatsoever. So that's the first bump in the road. Cold front tomorrow, cloudy and cool. Maybe a couple little flakes flying around down in our far, far southern counties. So that's where things stand for tomorrow. Now, we got to do something new on weekends because we got to pay the bills. We got to take a 30-second commercial break. Okay? So just sit tight. Let's pay a couple bills, and we will talk about the rest of your work week forecast and when the rain chances return here in about 30 seconds. Okay? So hang tight. All right. That's all it was. 30 seconds. We promise. But we got to keep paying those bills, right? So let's dive into the upcoming work week. As we get towards Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking about high temperatures in the 50s. Yeah, we were 50s today. It might be a couple degrees warmer by the middle of the upcoming week. The warmest day right now does look to be Wednesday, with a high of 53 degrees. You notice that more, I don't want to say true Arctic air, but you get the idea. The much colder air will be compressed to our north for much of the week ahead. You got highs in the 30s for the Great Lakes, highs in the teens up in Minnesota. So we get towards Wednesday. Meanwhile, you guys obviously saw that historic winter storm that went along the Gulf Coast this week. How about Montgomery? They saw a little bit of snow down in South Alabama, 68 as we get towards Wednesday. Charleston, South Carolina saw a good bit of snow as well. They're heading for 70 degrees as we get towards Wednesday, if you can believe that. That's wild. So we go from a ton of snow one week to 60s to near 70 for our friends down along the Gulf Coast. But here at home, we will be in the 50s, 53 to be exact. And that's pretty comfortable, right? We'll see a lot of sunshine as well, starting Monday and going through likely Thursday of this upcoming week. So yeah, just a very nice stretch of weather ahead, with the warmest days being on Wednesday. Comments time, one more time. Let's see. Oh, I missed quite a few comments. Sorry about that. Judy's asking about Monday and Tuesday. Looks good. Lots of sunshine. 40s Monday, 50s on Tuesday. Not too bad. Shonda's asking if there's going to be northern lights tonight around the area. I'll be honest with you, Shonda. I haven't looked at the geomagnetic storm forecast. I can tell you they will very likely not be seen if there is a storm going on because of the clouds rolling in tonight. So probably not going to be something we can check out tonight, unfortunately. Tim says he can't wait until 70s and storm season. Skywarn ready. Shout out to you, Tim, and all the Skywarn spotters out there. You guys help us a lot during severe weather. And yeah, it'll be severe weather season soon enough, but we'll enjoy the quiet while we got it. Sean is watching us from Honolulu, from Seymour, but in Hawaii. We're very jealous of you, Sean. We're very jealous of you, where it is 80 degrees down on the Hawaiian Islands right now. Man, oh man, that sounds good. Well, you, sir, enjoy your trip, and looks like you're heading back on Tuesday. Be very, very careful, safe travels, and at least we've got 50s when you come back instead of 20s like we did last week, right? Adam says hello from Bloomington. Enjoyed the snow melt today. Yeah, even if you're a snow lover, you're kind of tired of the snow still being around, right? Why are the 60s and 70s in blue? That looks cold. So the color contour on this map, it's not necessarily for the ground temperature. It's for the upper levels of the atmosphere, where it's always going to be a little bit colder, or most of the time it'll be a little bit colder. Just kind of gives you a better view of the weather pattern in general, if that makes sense. Let's see. Jason says hello. Hope all is well. All is well, my friend. Same to you. Thank you. Let's see. Brandon's ready for some warmer weather. I think we all are. Eli is asking when we'll get back to the 60s. Maybe soon. I'll explain in a minute. Beverly's watching us in Campbellsville. Wendy loves the snow. It is more beautiful than just the brown and the mud. That's true. That is very true. Very true. Let's see. Tommy says the snow going to finally melt. Yeah, I think a lot of it is gone this week when we get these highs back in the 50s. Now, the big snow mounds in the parking lots, that might take a while, but a lot of the grass snow and driveway snow should be moving on out. Steve says, thank you to all the Wave 3 for keeping us updated. God bless. Same to you. We appreciate you all watching. Let's see. Ed says there's still a few icy bumps on the road in southwestern Jefferson County. Yeah, it's crazy. Again, if some of these side roads don't have a lot of shade, if they have a lot of shade and they don't get a lot of sun, yeah, some of that ice still just will not go away, will it? But a lot of it will be melting this week, especially on Monday when the sun returns in full force and we gradually climb back into the 50s. All right, let's talk about our next big weather maker, which is a week away. Yeah, how about that? Not a whole lot to talk about this week. We mentioned that small bump in the road tomorrow. Shouldn't be a big deal. We get towards next Saturday. Timing is looking pretty good as far as when this is going to be moving in. Late Friday night, early Saturday morning. The big question we've had with this for a few days now is the temperatures at the start of this system. So in other words, when this leading edge of the rain moves into wave country Saturday morning, or the leading edge of the precipitation moves in, will it be plain rain, or will it still be cold enough to where we have a little wintry mix? The GFS especially was really holding on to that idea of giving us a little wintry mix to start things off next Saturday morning. It's backed off a little bit today. What you're looking at now is the Euro, which has kept this all rain for a while. So right now, the wintry mix concern next Saturday looks low, very low. We won't totally discount it just yet. But when all is said and done, the warmer air is going to win on Saturday. So any window for a wintry mix during the morning on Saturday would be very, very small, maybe an hour or two. And then we'll see those temperatures climb well above freezing, and that rain will continue to move in. Is there a thunder possibility? It's too early to say. Right now, it looks very showery to me. So keep in mind, we're looking at the lower resolution European model right here. Once we get into that high-res territory, we can get more specific with the rain coverage. It'll be a little more sporadic, I think. So I don't think Saturday's a washout necessarily next weekend, but there will certainly be showers around as this system moves through. And rainfall amounts look to range from around a quarter to possibly a half inch at this stage of the game. So it should just be a few showers rolling through, and that would be about it. But this is all we've got, guys, when it comes to widespread rain or snow chances, and it's just rain for the most part. By next Saturday, here comes the 10-day earliest alert, and then we'll wrap things up tonight. So we talked about that first bump in the road tomorrow, cloudy, cool, maybe a flurry in southern Kentucky tomorrow evening. The second bump would be on Wednesday night. There will be another cold front moving through around that time. It looks like a mainly dry cold front with most of the moisture to our north and east, up towards the Great Lakes and New England. However, it is going to knock those temperatures down. You see Wednesday we're at 53, then we go back to 46 on Thursday. But we'll keep an eye on if there might be a couple flurries flying around with that second cold front Wednesday night into early Thursday. That too looks very, very, very minor. No big deal. But that's really about it until we get to next weekend. So that'll be most of our focus, is that rain chance next Saturday. And if there could be any wintry mix right at the very, very beginning, it doesn't look like a big deal either way. And it looks like mainly just rain next Saturday. Beyond that, however, once we get towards next Sunday, Groundhog Day, which I will talk about more tomorrow night, into that following week, that first full week of February, it does look active. Active in the sense that it looks warm active, which would mean rain chances for the most part, with perhaps some thunder chances too. This kind of pattern where you've got these systems moving in from the south and west would be primed for perhaps some flooding issues to come into play. Too early for specifics, because the models are all over the place when it comes to how many systems will roll through once we get past next Saturday. Will it just be kind of one continuous string of systems, or will there be breaks in between? We still have to figure out all those details. But just know, now through Friday is likely the quietest pattern we're going to have for a while. February looks to start off rather busy. I will tell you, it doesn't look snowy necessarily right now. There will be a lot more battle zones as we go into this longer stretch, as we go into February, where it's not going to necessarily be locked in all snow every time now. It's going to be this game of, is it rain? Does it start off as a mix and then goes to all rain? Do we have ice? Do we have snow? That's what a lot of this is going to wind up being as we get towards February. You notice on the 14-day temperature outlook, the eastern U.S., including here in Wave Country, is trending above average temperature-wise. But much of the plains in the west will be trending cooler than average. So winter is not done. Winter is definitely not done. We'll still have some more shenanigans to deal with here over the next month or two, it appears. But right now, we're going to enjoy the break. We're going to enjoy the mild temperatures, and at least starting or returning on Monday, we'll be able to enjoy that sunshine as well. Any last-minute comments, questions, thoughts before we close things out tonight. Again, I appreciate you all watching as always. And it's nice to be chatting with you guys in a quiet situation instead of talking about an alert day. Three of the last 4 Sundays have had alert days on them. Not tomorrow, thank goodness, but it has certainly been a very, very busy January. But we'll quiet things down just a little bit for these final few days of the month before things get busy again heading into February. Let's see. We'll go through these comments one last time, and then I will call it a night here on the streaming side of things. Beverly's ready for some warm weather down in Campbellsville. Yeah. By the way, somebody was asking about the 60s. I completely blanked on that. My apologies. There are some models suggesting next Sunday, Groundhog Day, if we're in between systems. So in other words, if that Saturday system completely moves out and we're waiting on the next system to move in, and Sunday is mostly dry, there's some models suggesting we get close to 60 next Sunday. I'm not totally sold on that just yet. I still think a few showers will be around next Sunday, so I've kept those highs in the mid-50s. But in general, we're keeping things mild for the next 10 days. That is for sure. Let's see. Anita's happy that there's no snow. Yeah, so am I. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind a little snow from time to time, but this has been a little too much for my liking so far in January. Angela wouldn't mind any wintry mix that might come into play. Just keep that ice away. And again, if we do see that wintry mix next Saturday morning, it would be, I mean, it might last an hour. And then those temperatures go way above 32 and we're good for the rest of the day with just plain rain. So very minor issue at this point. And I'm trending more towards keeping that system all rain as opposed to a wintry mix out of the gate. Let's see. Going to say, kind of hoping that we aren't getting any more ice anytime soon. I don't see much of a chance. I really don't. It looks pretty warm, at least compared to where we've been, right? Adam says, looks like Groundhog may not see his shadow. Yeah, we'll talk more about old Puxatawny Field tomorrow night. But the rain we get on Saturday will affect Pennsylvania on Sunday. I'll leave it there for the time being. Let's see. Savannah says, any severe storms concerns at this point? I don't see a ton. We'll have to watch for any thunder potential on Saturday. But having said that, just outside the 10-day, like I mentioned, the pattern gets more active and it looks like a warmer active pattern. So that could mean maybe some thunderstorms coming into play just outside the 10-day. Just too early to know at this point, but I don't see a lot of severe weather threat at this stage of the game. Let's see. Kathy says, thanks. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you for watching. You guys are the reason we're here. We wouldn't be here without you all watching us all the time. Danny, let's just go ahead and make it Sunday an alert day to keep that streak going for potholes. No kidding. I will say I haven't seen a ton on my route to and from work. There's some, don't get me wrong, there's some rough ones, but just keep that in mind now that we're going to be mild and now that we have a lot of snow melt happening, that residual water is going to seep into the cracks in the roads and we'll probably have more potholes develop. So just something to keep in mind over this quiet stretch we've got ahead. Potholes they'll probably continue to be an issue for a while. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Appreciate you watching as always. We will be on again on the TV side of things tonight at 11 o'clock on Wave News. If you're still up, we invite you to watch us then. And we'll be back here on the digital side of things probably around 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Maybe a little bit later than I normally do tomorrow evening. But enjoy the quiet weather. Keep a heavier jacket with you as you're out and about tomorrow, since it'll be cloudy and a little bit cooler. But once we get past the cloudy and cool on Sunday, got some nice, sunny, mild weather to enjoy for much of the work week ahead. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you guys on TV again tonight at 11 and back here on the digital side of things tomorrow night. Take care.